Okay, let's talk about interviews. So I'm asking for forgiveness because this is a brand new curriculum this semester, and so you probably have figured that out. There are some learning curves and some growing pains with this new project. We are doing this project. Miss Mays' online class is doing a version of the project, and my on-ground class is doing a version of this whole focus on resilience. Um, so forgive me that sometimes things kind of slip and maybe some of the due dates or the open dates don't make sense. So I apologize in advance. So here's the deal. This week's discussion is on the interviews. Here's if you have not interviewed your people yet, okay, that's okay. But we need to be thinking about when we will do that. But you can still share who you plan to interview and why because it matters. Um, so the interviews, these can be anybody, but we're talking about resilience, and so this is something for that applies to all humans. And so perhaps you've looked around and you have found someone in your family that has really overcome some obstacles. That you found a teacher, maybe that you don't know about their personal story, but that someone you look up to, and you're curious as to how they deal with setbacks and obstacles. Okay, so. Um, Discussion board has to do with your interviews. So let's look at the interview. I've gone ahead and opened the interview draft. Now, of course, and we need to extend this so that we can keep looking at this stuff. Um, of course, it's already been mentioned in the whole. I mean, if you've looked at the term paper and project FYI, you've already seen the information on the interviews. All the instructions, at least, are here. Um, so let's look at the actual interview draft assignment here. So the assignment is for you to select 3 people to interview about resilience. And this is just so interviews, we're not going to go into great detail about how to conduct an interview. Just remember that interviews should be conversational. You should be sitting down with someone and asking these questions and then recording these questions. Make sure that you're catching the key points. Make sure that you are not, that you're not too strict with your list of questions because perhaps the person starts telling a story and it kind of gets off, spelled wrong. It goes off on a tangent or something, and you just have to adapt. So interviewing is not where you like have this list of questions and you just one question right after the other with no elaboration. Be flexible, be ready and prepared to ask follow up questions. Just listen to your person. That's the whole point of this interview. So you need to find 3 different people who will agree to talk to you about these. Use a pseudonym. Please do not don't give their names. You can describe them, but it's just for privacy matters. It's best to just use fake names for everything. Um, then you're going to gather up your questions and prepare to interview, and then of course conduct the interview. What we'll be doing next week is writing the analysis of the interview, and so don't worry too much about that yet. Just get the interviews conducted first, and then you can go back and write the analysis. And I'll be providing you a sample analysis very soon, so that you can see how to relay interview information. So as already noted in one announcement, I have compiled you created these interview questions together, and so I've compiled them all. This doesn't mean you have to use all of them. This is a personal assignment, so you decide what it is you want to focus on for your um, sorry about that. What you want to focus on for your interview. So I've kind of took all of y'all's questions and like slipped them into what I think are the categories. Okay, so use these and decide which ones you want. And if you have others that you've come up with, then feel free to do that. This is very flexible and it's very independent. Like this is you get to choose. You get to choose. This is yours. Okay. All right. So at least be identifying who you want to interview for this week's discussion, and then you need to get these completed in the next few days so that you can write your analysis on it. And I'll show you the sample by the end of the week. Okay. All right, I hope this helps understand the whole project. Remember, this is all about resilience. We are investigating resilience. We have been all semester, and we're finally putting together this, our own definition, our individual research and our individual take on resilience. Please note that you're getting several times to get this right. So you have the literature review draft this week. And then you have the interviews draft. Well, guess what? Then you put those two together, and then you have the term paper draft. So you're getting like double chance to get this right before you even get the final grade. Okay. All right. I hope, and then we'll talk about the presentation a little bit later. But let's get this writing done first. All right. Thank you.